How is everybody doing tonight? I know we haven't done one of these lives in ages because my camera is all fuckered up. I don't know why that was all fuckered up, but how is everybody doing tonight? My mic is way too loud and I don't have any music on this one. So I'm just going to turn it down because I didn't really want all that music anyway. But how is everybody doing tonight? We're going to be playing some Microsoft Flight Sim. We're actually going to be doing some NEOfly stuff. For those of you who aren't too like familiar with what NEOfly is, NEOfly is just a fun little way that you can add. Um, what's the best way to put it? So that you can add like a campaign to Microsoft Flight Sim. Now, Microsoft Flight Sim is getting a update in 2024. Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 is getting a nice little update, which is kind of exciting because a it's going to have a campaign. It's going to have a reason to keep playing. It's going to have, you know, campaign. It's going to have, do you want to be a bush pilot? Do you want to be an airline pilot? Do you want to be a cargo pilot? I don't think it's going to have any like cartel or drug nonsense. Drugs are bad, MK. So there's that. But I'm excited for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. What about y'all? Are y'all excited for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024? I hope y'all are excited for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. It's almost like I'm saying this a lot in hopes that the AI algorithm or whatever is going to decide that my video needs to be pushed because of Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But we do have NeoFly set up. We also have our iPad nice and all ready to go. I have a camera up there to like show you my controls, but I forgot to set it up. So I'm sorry. But how's everybody been doing? I see we got a couple people here hanging out. Yeah, how's everybody been doing? I guess like anybody got anything going on? Anybody that's currently taking some flight training? That's currently taking a check ride recently? We got anything to celebrate? I'm all for celebrating y'all's accomplishments. Um, is anybody there? If nobody is there, please stay silent. Uh, I, but I am. I mean, I guess like without further ado, why not? Let's get right into Microsoft Flight Sim. Unless anybody's got any questions or anything they like to add, comments, questions, concerns. 3 flights canceled in a row because of weather. That is rough. That is rough. I am so sorry. Let's see if this button works. It does not work. I wonder why. Let's see. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Actually, let's do that. Let's go settings. No. Home. Settings. Outputs. Routing. What would that be? Would that be that one? Yeah, so the sound effects are going to my headphones. All right, outputs, routing. Let's try USB 1 and let's put the sound effects on that track. There we go. And your check ride's supposed to be in December. I don't know how much that's going to happen. Like I'm that's how many hours are you at? What lesson are you on? What more do you have to get done? 'Cause, I mean, if you ain't got much more to get done, then I mean, a check ride in December is not that bad. But if you're 20 hours in and you got a check ride in December, that might be cutting a little close. Might be cutting a little close. I'm at 51 right now. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. So like, it's not a crisis, but definitely we gotta evaluate our course. We gotta evaluate our plan. Is this chat showing up properly? It is all stuck behind the cow. Uh, just did your night flight. Okay. So we kind of gotta. That's not great. That's not great. That's not great. So but weather happens. Weather happens. You can't really do much about it. No need getting upset about it. No need beating yourself up about it. It's not your fault. I was about to say it's not necessarily your fault. No, it's not your fault that weather sucks. Unless you got storm on speed dial. If you got storm's number, then the weather is definitely your fault. Um, anything else though? Anything else? Anything else? I am all here to answer any kind of questions you got. For those of you who are new here, anybody who might not be familiar with CheesePilot, I am an airline instructor, so I teach people in the Airbus A320. I also have been teaching for about a decade. I do a lot of Microsoft Flight Sim. I do some mock check rides. I'm a CFI, CFII, multi-engine instructor, Airbus instructor. I'm also typed in the Embraer 145 and the CRJ 200. Are y'all getting a bad delay? Like, because I'm getting buffering on my side. Are y'all seeing this buffering? If y'all are seeing this buffering, just let me know. I might have to drop off live and then come back to fix it. But let me know. Let me know. Let me see. Can I? No, no. There's nothing I can do right there. But yeah. Well, I guess let's hop on into it. And unless anybody's got anything else they want to add, let's go ahead and hit that button right there. So as you can see, we got Microsoft Flight Sim all booted up right here. The chat's down in the bottom right. We also have this thing called NEOfly. Now, NEOfly, this is an instruction, or not instruction. This is that thing we were talking about where you add stream is lagging a little. All right, so I am going to drop off real quick. I have to fix the resolution. It's currently pumping out at 4K, so let me drop it down to 1920 by 1080, and that'll probably help. So unless I can fix it in here, yeah, it's in stream status. It's poor. I need to change the resolution. Yep. So I will be back. Microsoft Flight Sim is really loud down there. Okay, we'll turn that down, and then we'll turn my mic up, and then we will stop the stream. All right, and we should be back. All right, I'm seeing an excellent connection. We should be all squared away now. Sorry about that. We did have to drop the resolution so that we could stream. All right. We sometimes we got to work with the tools that we're provided. I don't have the fancy streaming internet that some streamers have. But I also don't stream. Like, streams aren't really like my main deal. Did I ever fly for the airline? Yes, I flew for 3 different airlines. I flew for 2 different regionals, and then I flew for an ultra low cost carrier. I prefer teaching. I prefer hanging out with you guys. I prefer making content. Plus, if I'm just going to be honest, my significant other, she is a major airline pilot, and it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for me to be bored or, struggling at the airlines if my wife makes plenty of money for me to be able to come and hang out with y'all. So I absolutely love it. Now let's actually check out Microsoft Flight Sim. So let's bring up NEOfly for a second. Oh, did I get rid of NEOfly? Okay, yeah, I accidentally got rid of NEOfly. So we got Microsoft Flight Sim loaded up. We are currently in this A36 Bonanza. I guess I need to transport a bunch of vegetables to Green Bay. So I think that's going to be our mission. We're going to be going from O'Hare to Green Bay. So let's go ahead and pull up our iPad and let's build a plan for it. Let's go ahead and head over here. This is our current location. It'll load eventually. Let's go ahead and turn winds aloft and traffic off. Come on. Aeronautical. IFR low. Where is my chart? Oh, why is it putting me in the middle of the ocean? Oh, because I haven't landed yet. Because I'm technically not in. So let's go ahead and we'll clear that. And we're going to build a plan from Chicago to Green Bay. Return. Let's select a route. Looks like we've got Rainer Bartman Tays. That's the preferred route. What's the altitude that's assigned to that? Can we pick it by altitude? You know what? We'll go with that one. Rainer Bartman Tays. We'll select that route. Would you like to update your flight plan? Suggested 2,000. Sure, we'll plan it for 2,000, and that's going to be our plan. We'll go ahead and get zoomed in on this. We'll close that out and get just a little bit zoomed in on this. So it looks like we're probably going to be doing the O'Hare 5, which is just 3x5, 4x8.5. We should be able to make that climb gradient. We're going to depart O'Hare, and then we're going to go Rayner, Bartman, Taze, and then track pretty much along the coast via RNAV to Green Bay. We'll take whatever vectors or what have you that we get and go from there. Has anybody got any kind of questions or anything that you might be a little bit confused about when it comes to us going from Chicago to Green Bay? It's a pretty straightforward route. Looks like we're going to be doing it with a Bonanza. Let's go ahead and adjust our cruise speed. I have no idea what this is, but it looks complicated. So this is an IFR chart. I guess I could bring up a VFR chart. This is a VFR sectional. So this is, I did fly an approach because my instructor let me though. Oh, that's exciting. Well, let's take a look at this from a VFR perspective. So here we are in Chicago. We're just going to depart Chicago and we're going to go northbound. Northbound is going to take us directly to this fix, Rayner. It's just a GPS waypoint, RNAV waypoint. So we're going to track along from Rayner to then the fix Bartman. It's at 2,000. What's up, my aviation training videos? How's your day going? So we're going to track from there to Taze. And then from Taze, we're going to go ahead and head just straight to Green Bay from Taze. So these are all just GPS waypoints that we can load in as soon as we get on the ramp. So let's go ahead and get on the ramp. There's a lot of people here. We got one like though. Yeah, pretty much following the magenta line. We're not going to be doing anything extravagant tonight. Looks like we got one like. If you haven't dropped a like already, please do so. If you haven't subscribed already, again, please do so. I don't do a whole lot of lives, but when I do, I try to really engage with y'all, answer any kind of questions y'all got. But as I said, we are flying with NEOfly today, and NEOfly has given us a mission to fly from Chicago O'Hare to Green Bay with a bunch of vegetables. That's really all we're doing, is we're flying from O'Hare to Green Bay with a bunch of vegetables. But I am going to adjust the chat just a little bit because the chat is kind of rough right now. It's kind of hard to see. Maybe we'll up the size a bit. There we go. There we go. So that's a bit better. I feel like we might be able to make that just a little better. Save. Let's go. Settings. Refresh. There we go. That's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. Now, let's go ahead and hop in. I love this game, but my PC gets overheated easily. I'm sorry. A bunch of vegetables. Pretty much all of us in the chat are going along with you. I guess so. I guess so. NEOfly is great for giving a reason and a motivation to fly. Exactly. That's kind of the whole point of it. So let's go ahead and set up our flight plan. We've got our G1000 right over here. Let's make sure. Yep, that worked. And we're going to go FPLN. And we're going to set up our origin. Enter. Menu? No. Clear. Oh, I always forget how to set the origin. Okay, there we go. KORD. Oh, I really wish I could just use the nearest function or type. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R. Okay. K, O, R, D. Let's find R. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? K, O, M, N, O, R, and let's go find that D. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. All right. Runway, I think we're going to be taking off of... I think based on my taxi diagram, I'm going to be taking off a 2-2 right. Select 2-2 right. That's 2-2 right is up there. Yeah, there is no load flight plan button. Sorry. Hello, Captain. Do you mock for multi-check rides? Yes, I do. I do mock check rides for multi-functions. Yeah, it's annoying. The nearest stuff doesn't work on a lot of the simulators. Yep, it sure doesn't. I'm really hoping that's one of the things that get fixed with Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. So then we're going to go Rainer. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. All right. R, A, Y. That's going to be a bit more down here. T, U, V, W, X, Y. I just want to make sure it's R-A-Y, not R-A-N. Yep, it's R-A-Y. Let's go find that N. Let's go find the R. But this is how you load a flight plan in the G1000. It is, if we were in like a Cirrus or something like that, it would be a little quicker because, you know, there's a keyboard, but I don't have access to the keyboard anyway through Microsoft Flight Sim. So then we got Rainer, and we're going to go just direct Green Bay at this point. I don't really need to load all of those goddamn fixes. So we're going to go climb up. We're going to go find that G. I need to connect EFB to Microsoft Flight Sim. I do have my EFB connected to Microsoft Flight Sim. As you can see right here, my ForeFlight should be... Oh, that didn't pop up. Yeah, there's my ForeFlight. It is connected to Microsoft Flight Sim. You can see my little own ship thing right there. But yes, I am playing with a sim. So this is K, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Oh. There's G, R. Come on. I really wish that I could do like some of the stuff that the Garmin can actually do in real life, where you can just put it in your iPad and then push it in to your flight plan, to your Garmin products. But again, Microsoft Flight Sim has its limitations. And we're just not going to select a runway. Awesome. So we've got all of that loaded. Now let's go ahead and get this thing started. All right. So mixtures rich, props forward. Throttle's just got a crack to it. Hit that as magnetos. And... oh, didn't start. Come on. Why you don't want to start? Well, this is embarrassing. Damn thing won't start. Go ahead and get our fuel pump on. Maybe we need a little bit of fuel pressure. And looks like we are running. Well, that's weird. I saw my CHTs come up. Come on. Fire up. See, there's my cylinder head temps. They're rising. Fuel selector? Oh, I'm just completely out of fuel. Let me just turn... Let me get some damn fuel, and then maybe we can get this thing started. Oh, that's embarrassing. Let's just fill this thing up. Okay. What is that damn noise? Oh, my auxiliary fuel pump is still running. All right, so we currently have full tanks, so let's go up to our loadout. Fuel. All right. Let me just make sure. That looks good. That looks good. Parking brake is set. Where the hell is... Why is it not letting me load? Missing payload. All right. This is what we call a pro gamer move right here. I should do a tutorial on Microsoft Flight Sim. It's hard to learn and play. Sure. I don't see why not. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Oh, is this one of the ones? This one got that weird ass iPad that I have to use. No, it doesn't look like this one's got a weird ass iPad. I see fuel in it now, so let's try it. There we go. Helps if we put gas in the damn plane. All right, let's go ahead and close that out. And now we're going to get going. Let me just see if I can put fuel in it now. I don't know why it's resetting my fuel to 0. I don't know why it's resetting it to that. So hopefully that's not an issue. Now we're going to taxi out to runway 22. If I remember correctly, let's go ahead and zoom in. Looks like we're going to take November to runway 22 right. For those of you curious, there it is. Failed fuel planning in that check ride. I don't know why it won't let me put fuel in the damn airplane. But here we are. Welcome aboard. Set your parking brake. Missing payload. No experience granted. Don't care. Let's go ahead. Release our parking brake. And let's get this thing going. Looks like I'm actually going to go... Oh, where the hell am I? Oh, that is not a taxiway. Let's actually do this. Let's zoom in over here to get a taxi diagram to figure out where the hell we need to go. All right, looks like I actually should probably turn around and exit the ramp over there. Yep, that makes more sense. What major does my wife fly for? So I don't really discuss what airline my wife flies for, given that that's, you know, that's her job. That's her kind of, you know, discussion to have, you know, if she so chooses to have that discussion. Just know that she makes enough money for me to come and fuck around on TikTok or I guess this is technically YouTube, for me to come fuck around on YouTube with y'all, as opposed to having a real goddamn job. All right. Looks like maybe we're going to taxi out this way. Oh, those were the centerline lights. I'm an idiot. Can you tell that I don't play around at night that much? Now for me, you know, I worked at Air Wisconsin. I worked at Envoy. Now I'm technically on the seniority list of an ultra low cost carrier, but you know, I'm currently working with the FAA to get my medical back, which sucks because, you know, it's a long, arduous process, and you know, I wish it was easier, but that doesn't mean I can't come and hang out with y'all, do these fun little videos, and I can still teach in the full motion sim. All right. I'm going to go. Well, I don't think I need flaps. I mean, it's a fairly long runway. It's Chicago O'Hare. It's kind of funny. We're in a little bonanza taxiing around Chicago O'Hare. But has anybody else got any fun little, you know, experiences, any questions about flight training, how to go about, you know, what section of their training, how to appropriately fuel plan? Microsoft Flight Sim, the biggest thing with Microsoft Flight Sim is setting up the controls. I'd say that that's probably the hardest part about Microsoft Flight Sim, is making sure that all the controls are set up. Beyond that, if you go through flight training, I mean, it's just like flying. That's why it's a flight simulator, you know? We'll go ahead and take this intersection takeoff down here. We're going to climb on up to 3,000. So let's set our altitude of 3,000. Feels like there's some pretty strong winds. So there's our 3,000 feet. And here's our runway. We'll take this nice little intersection takeoff. I don't think we've got any need for flaps. Anybody think we need flaps? I think we got plenty of runway. And let's roll. Ah, right rudder, left rudder. Ah, it's lagging. There we go. Airspeed's alive. Go ahead and rotate. Positive rate. Gears coming up. We'll go ahead and engage nav mode for our flight director. Nope, that's roll mode. I want nav mode. And we'll go ahead and engage indicated airspeed for our flight director as well. I'm going to go ahead and start a turn that's going to get me over on course. We can go ahead and reduce power back to a reasonable power setting. So I go for about 25 inches of manifold pressure and about 2,500 RPM. And there we are. What you call it? Chicago departure. Squawk 7600. Now, if anybody can tell me what that beep 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 is, I'll give you an applause. All right, let's go ahead and change this to heading mode. Go ahead and shift our heading over. And we're about to capture altitude. Let's go ahead and hit autopilot on. Sorry, no radio call. And to be honest, I'm not even sure. NEOfly is working right now. It sometimes does this thing where it just pretends that I'm not actually flying. So I don't know what's going on with it. It never recognizes that I ever left the ground. If anybody knows how to fix that problem, I'd really appreciate it. All right. Let's see if we can add a little bit more gas to this airplane now that we shut down NEOfly, because yeah, NEOfly is doing something weird where it like takes away control of the airplane, or takes control away from Microsoft Flight Sim. So I'm not really sure what all that's about, but here we are on our way, Rainer Bartman Tays, to Chicago O'Hare. But anybody got any other questions? Anybody got anything else they want to talk about? I've got a pretty nice GPS that I'm waiting to install in my airplane. My airplane's GPS is from, I think it's from the 90s. It hasn't actually seen an update since, when was the last time that thing saw an update? I think it saw an update in 2014. So since 2014 since that aircraft has been updated, or since that GPS has been updated, it has just been an absolute. It doesn't really do much for me. It's really the best way to put it. Is there's just not a whole lot of information being provided by it. Yeah. Anything else though? I would love to become a DPE. I need a medical for a DPE. Got a multi-engine check ride tomorrow. Terrified but ready. Okay, what are the factors that will increase VMC? Sorry if you didn't really want me to call you out on that, but what are the factors that would increase your VMC speed? Anything? I don't know. I know there's sometimes a delay between when I'm talking and when you guys hear it. So I apologize if it seems like I'm trying to rush y'all through questions, but that's not my intention. It's not my intention. Oh, it appears that Microsoft Flight Sim. It appears that NEOfly never registered our departure. Well, that sucks. I guess I have to. I guess I might have to put the airplane back on the ground. Let's go ahead and reset this, and we'll try it again. But yes, my medical got deferred, then denied, and now it's currently in for reevaluation right now. So yeah, it's not great. It's not great. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for subscribing. Oh, what is that? I can't read that, and it didn't show up on my little end. But either way, thank you so much for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. Critical engine, windmilling, of course, lighter weight, more power, brain fart on one more. Increase to VMC, increasing your VMC speed. Wouldn't flap deployment increase your VMC speed? yeah, it sucks. But hopefully, you know, I've got everything kind of squared away. The FAA should be getting mine back. They, based on all of the doctors I have talked to, there shouldn't be any concern about my medical. Like I should get my medical back. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to be able to go back to flying. All right, it says 589 pounds is missing. So let's go ahead and do this. It's still not showing. Let's go ahead and set this 0. We'll go ahead and set pilot to 200 because, you know, that's how much I weigh. No co-pilot. Baggage we'll set to 600 or 589. Oh, definitely not that. I wanted 589, not 3,600. 589. Delete. Enter. All right, it's still showing that we are missing that weight. I really don't understand why it's showing us missing that weight. Yeah, I don't see why I'll still I don't see why I wouldn't still be making videos, you know? Hangar, manage your airplane. Max payload. Okay, I think that might be my problem. We're going to go ahead and we're going to dump this mission. All right. We'll go ahead and dump that mission. Aft CG to an extreme. Yep. Because remember, the farther back your CG, the shorter the arm is. We've got a little airplane right here. Remember, the farther back your CG, the shorter the arm is from the rudder, meaning you can apply less force with the rudder. All right. But yeah, I mean, so if I do go back to the airlines, I don't see why I wouldn't still be making videos. You just might see more of me from the airlines. Like, obviously, I'm not going to be doing any stuff from the actual cockpit because that's technically illegal. But, you know, I don't see why I couldn't continue to make videos, continue to do mock check rides, continue to do, you know, any and all videos. Let's see if we can find another place to go. We're not going to go to Midway. We're not going to go to Fargo. Let's adjust this by distance. So that's way too close. Midway's too close. DPA is too close. Trying to see if we could like go to Chicago or Milwaukee or something. But it seems like Milwaukee is not an option. So let's try. No, but that's too much weight. GYY. Bring 232 pounds of old wine, Chicago to GYY. Where is GYY? KGYY. Okay, that's not that far. I think we can do that. I think we can do that one. So let's go ahead and load and add that. Awesome. All right. I just got a little note from NEOfly telling me to not fuck this up. All right. Loading sensitive cargo. Now, let's see if we can add enough fuel to actually get where we want to go. All right, let's go and manage the flight. So we've got the right weight, we've got the right fuel, we're good to go. Let's go ahead and get back into it. So NEOfly, as we see it right here, we're going to be going from O'Hare to GYY. And then if we go and bring up our iPad, we should just be able to just go direct to GYY. And I think that's what we're going to do is we're just going to take off and we're just going to proceed direct to GYY. I don't even think we're going to bother with like a flight plan or anything like that in the G1000. I think we're just going to send it and we're going to go direct GYY when we get in flight. What do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that? I think that's the play. I think that's the way we need to take this. So gears down, mixtures rich. And we have fuel this time. Let's go ahead and get this puppy started. All right, engine's nice and started. We got NEOfly talking to us. I think we are all squared away and ready to fly. Does anybody got any questions before we get moving? Props forward, mixtures rich. Let's go ahead and taxi to runway 22 right, like the one we had just planned on. Is our parking brake set? No, our parking brake is not set, but our taxi light's off. All right. Try and avoid running into stuff. We do have a cargo full of wine. Isn't that my kind of mission? My kind of mission. I'm surprised we're not taking this thing to Wisconsin. Oh, there's our taxi lights. God, you can't. Yeah, I can't see shit at night. I can't see shit at night in Microsoft Flight Sim. What other runway could we go to? I feel like we probably have a fairly long runway pretty much right in front of us. I think we're going to take that one, and we're going to take off. As soon as we get on the runway, we're going to take off to the right. Oh, yeah, I bet if I did adjust my gamma, that would help. Ah! General option. Graphics. Terrain level of detail, object level of detail. Where the hell is gamma? Where the hell do you even adjust gamma? I don't even know where to adjust gamma. Huh. Anybody know where to even adjust it? Because I'm not seeing it as an option. Well, let's push on. Oh, is it in this camera? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Who's the guy that suggested it? Jason, where do you adjust gamma? Camera. Options. I think the better thing to do, let's just do this instead. Instead of trying to figure out how to adjust gamma, let's just adjust day. There we go. We can see now. There we go. And Chicago O'Hare, this is Cheese 1. We're going to be taking off runway 27. Looks like 27 center. We are cleared for departure, whether you want it or not. We got 9,900 feet remaining. Let's send it. Power set to full. Everything's in the green. Props just a little high. There we go. Got a little bit of crosswind. And we are up. Gears coming up. Go ahead and bring that power. 25, 25. And we will engage heading mode. And we'll climb on up to 3,000 feet. And there is 3,000 feet. We'll set our autopilot. Autopilot is on. Now we should be making a nice right turn to take us to Grand Rapids or GYY. Let's go ahead and bring up our iPad so that we can actually see where we're going to be going. Looks like it should be a heading of 150. So that is not the correct heading. So let's get down to here to heading and just keep that turn coming. So where did the name CheesePilot come from? So I'm a pilot in Wisconsin. Wisconsin's famous for cheese. CheesePilot. That's literally it. That is the whole thought process behind that name. Let's go direct. K, A, B, C, D, E, F. Let's see. Nah, it doesn't seem like I can load it. Yeah, so when I worked at Air Wisconsin, I picked the name CheesePilot over on TikTok because I was going to be making like airline videos. But then, you know, as I continued to work at Air Wisconsin, it just continued to be an absolutely terrible, terrible place to work. So when I finally left, it was kind of awkward because like I kept the name CheesePilot, but then like I also wasn't a pilot at Air Wisconsin anymore. So it's like, wait a minute. Do I need to give up the name? Do I need to find a new one? But people still loved the name, so I decided to stick with it. And people seem to love it. You know, I like the name. I feel like it really does. I enjoy being CheesePilot. All right, and now we can go nav. Now we've got GPS autopilot taking us there. When is another private pilot mock check ride? I mean, I do a bunch of them. I have a kind of a backlog of them that I need to kind of get through. I mean, I have a bunch of them right now that are just kind of sitting on my computer that I should probably edit and upload. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little... I mean, are y'all still enjoying them is really the big question. Are y'all still enjoying the private pilot mock check rides? Because, like, I do a lot of them because there isn't really a whole lot more to do. You know, everyone, as I've said before, everyone's got to go through mock check. Everyone's got to go through private pilot before they get anywhere else. So I end up doing a lot of private pilot mock check rides. But it also ends up feeling a lot of times like I'm doing the exact same check ride. And I kind of feel bad about it. Yeah, y'all enjoy them? Okay, I'll keep putting them out. I think I've got like 2 of them sitting on my computer right now that I can edit. But for those of you who are a little confused about what I'm doing right here, I am actually leaning my airplane appropriately. For a lot of you private pilots out there, For a lot of you private pilots out there that, oh shit, I didn't realize I left my iPad up. So I'm over here leaning the mixture of this airplane. So for a lot of you private pilots out there, you were taught just like lean until the needle gets to this specific point. But what we're going to do is we're going to do it properly. We've got our power setting set. We're at 2525. So 25 inches of manifold pressure, 2,500 RPM. When you're thinking about this from like your Cessna's perspective, you could think of this as around like a 2,400 RPM cruise. So what I'm going to do is I bring up my EGT gauge so that I can see all of my cylinders. This thing technically has 6 cylinders, but what I'm doing is I am leaning the mixture until I get the hottest EGT possible, until I get my hottest exhaust gas temperature possible. Once I get to that hottest exhaust gas temperature possible, I am going to enrich in it so that it cools down 50 degrees. So I am currently pulling out the mixture as that EGT starts to rise. Once I see the EGT drop off, once I see that exhaust gas temperature start to cool down as I lean the mixture, I am going to enrich in it 50 degrees. So it seems like I still got a pretty far way to go. Looks like 1215 might be it. I'm going to let it stabilize for a little. And I'm going to continue to bring it out. All right. So we got a peak. So it looks like 1215 is my peak. So now I'm going to enrich in it until I see that delta peak -50. Once I see that delta peak -50, then I know I've got my airplane's mixture set properly. Now, I do have a couple other options. I can do lean of peak, 50 degrees lean of peak, but that's only if I'm concerned about fuel economy. If I'm really, really concerned about fuel, but I'm not concerned about fuel. I brought enough gas with me. If I'm afraid I'm not going to make it to my destination, yeah, I can do lean of peak. But we go back, and now the airplane is all set up for our cruise. Any questions? I enjoy them, but I passed last week, so I'm good, thanks to your videos. Well, I do have some instrument mock check rides you might want to check out, Paul. I also have a commercial one here or there. So don't be a stranger, Paul. Don't be a stranger. Now, I can't lie. I really do want to get back to doing stuff like this. This flying around, private pilot, or general aviation stuff, I absolutely loved. When I was that summer I was flying around with Dirtbag Pilot was an absolute blast, and I really want to get back to doing stuff like that. So once I get my medical back, I'm really hoping to like, I hate to say it, but I hate to name drop the guy or anything like that, but I want to end up maybe like the seaplane version of Trent Palmer. You know, flying around, showing stuff off, going on adventures. I really want to end up doing a lot of that. But you can see us along our route right here on the iPad. Not very far to go. What's the flight plan looking like? Flight plan is showing that we've got another 5 minutes remaining. So not a very far flight at all. Not a very far flight at all. Let's see if we can get some ATIS at this airport. So Gary, looks like the AWAS or the ATIS is 13457. So let's go ahead, go to COM 13457, enter. Have you tried to get basic med? Yeah, so if you lose your medical, basic med isn't an option. 13457. Which is that's kind of what sucks. If you lose your medical, you get it declined, you get it denied, you get it revoked. Basic med isn't an option. You have to have held a medical and never had yours revoked unless, well, I don't know why I said unless. Like, you can't. Like, there isn't any. I wonder why I'm not getting the ATIS. That's weird. Well, let's look at the ATIS on the iPad then, at the very least. Let's go Gary, Indiana. Weather. Looks like it's overcast 1400, marginal VFR. Yeah, sure. Overcast 1400 and marginal VFR. Should I do live weather? Okay, yeah, that's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. Ah, what's happening? What's happening? All of a sudden there was a wind. Oh, and we're in it. We're in the soup. Okay, so that's live weather. Let's plan for this then. So we're going procedures, approaches. We're coming. Well, I guess I need to go look at the weather again. Let's look at this together. We'll go full screen, and I'm showing weather. It's 180 at 9, overcast 1400. So let's go procedure, approach. Looks like we could do an RNAV GPS runway 12 is probably going to be the best bet. So let's go ahead and load that in the box. So let's do nearest, enter, direct, enter, procedure, select approach. We'll go GPS, runway 12, LPV, enter, and we'll do it via the initial approach fix of EVP, sure, why not? Enter. We're going down to minimums of 797 or 800, so we'll go ahead, go minimums on, and scroll down on up to 800. Yeah, I mean, once I get my medical back, if I don't plan on going back to the airlines, like if I do go back to the airlines, obviously I need a first-class medical, but if I don't end up going back to the airlines, I am probably just going to drop down to basic med. Oh, look, we can just go to gag me. What am I supposed to be at gag me? We'll go down to 2200. So there's 2200, and we'll set that and reduce power so we can start our descent. So we've got this all set up. So the way I set this up, I know I kind of went through that pretty quickly. So I went direct to the airport, or I technically went nearest, and then I hit enter, direct, and then I came down here to procedure, and I selected an approach. So I selected the RNAV GPS runway 12, and I set my minimums of 800. Transition. We'll just go procedure, activate approach, enter. Oh, why did you do that? I didn't want you to do that. Flight plan. I wanted you to go direct to the final approach fix. Activate. So from there, I can go ahead and arm approach. And I should be able to track on down this. I know this one was a bit of a shit show. I got a little bit behind the airplane. I definitely got behind the airplane. This definitely wouldn't have been the best way to accomplish this approach. What I should have done is gotten prepared sooner. I should have been paying more attention to what was going on in the airplane as opposed to talking to y'all. But it looks like I've actually gotten below the weather that I was super concerned about. So that's nice. But once we flip it on back around to gag me, that is a terrible name for a fix. For fuck's sakes. Why do they have a fix gag me? That seems wildly inappropriate. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So we're swinging it on back around to that fix, and we should be able to grab the glide slope when we get there. Let's go ahead and drop our gear. We're below our gear extension speed, and we can reduce our power some more, and we can increase our mixture just a smidge. Why do they have that fix? Have you ever been to Gary? I don't know why they have that fix named that way. This fix is for the final approach segment. So if we look at our approach right here, I know if you're not IFR rated or whatnot, this, if you haven't had any IFR training, this might look like a lot. But we're going to this fix to follow this line down to the runway. I've never flown to Gary, I have driven there, but I've never flown there. So gears down, autopilot's on. We're waiting to grab that glide slope. Once we grab that glide slope, we're going to reduce even more power so that we can slow down and get on that glide slope. Yeah, it's pretty fun. They name these fixes some weird shit sometimes. There's a fix in Arizona called Wiener. So whenever they made that fix, a bunch of people made the joke that we're holding at Wiener. Or we're holding Wiener, we're holding South Wiener, we're holding North Wiener. So you know, we all love a dick joke here and there, right? But no, I've never been to Gary in a plane. When I have flown general aviation, the farthest south I have gone in general aviation in my airplane is probably just south of Chicago. Just south of Chicago. Now, don't get me wrong. I've flown general aviation airplanes damn near all over the country. All right, airport in sight. Landing. We got glide path captured. Looks like we might have somebody crossing our path as well. Oh, that's my wind correction. Holy shit. Look at how stiff that wind is. Back. This is gonna be a rough day. This is definitely gonna be a rough flight. All right, so we got enough power reduced. Let's go ahead and drop one notch of flaps. Now we're gonna keep some energy in the wing. We're gonna keep some energy in the propeller. We're gonna keep some energy in the engine, so that if we do have to go around, because this is rough. This is some rough wind. We've got a fairly stiff crosswind. I was trying to pull up my wind diamond down here on my PFD so that I could show y'all the wind. Back. PFD options. Wind. There we go. Option 1. Option 2. So it looks like we got a 20 knot crosswind from the right, and it's raining. We need power. Focus on the task at hand. Focus on the task at hand. Oh my God, we almost stalled, which is why it's really important to know how to use your automation. We had that power way too low, and we ended up way too slow. So let's go ahead, kill the autopilot, and we're going to hand fly this the rest of the way down. Looks like maybe we weren't trimmed properly. Maybe we got a nice updraft. Oh my God, we're going to be fighting this all the way down. I need to make sure I land at less than 200 feet per minute. This is going to be rough. Getting a little low, add some power. Oh my God, we're getting so far left of center line. Nope, not that one. 500. Looks like the wind might be calming down. That ATIS was a dirty fucking liar. That ATIS told me 8 knots, pretty much just a slight crosswind of 8 knots. I don't know what the hell it was saying. Actually, it seems like it might be calming down a little bit. There we go. So what we're doing is we're doing a crab and kick method. So we're bringing the airplane down, crabbed in, and then once we get down there, we're going to kick out this crosswind correction. I'm also coming in with a fair bit of energy so that I can try and land as squishy as possible. because I've got all this wine in here. Awesome. Oh, wait, what the fuck? No, it wasn't. That was bullshit. That was bullshit. NEOfly told me I landed at 264 feet per minute. I saw it on the damn screen that I landed at 150 feet per minute. What the hell? All right, let's get those flaps up. NEOfly, you dirty liar. You are a dirty liar, NEOfly. I guess let's go find a place to park. And it looks like we're only going to make $1,700 off of this now. All because we broke 60% of the wine. That's not great. We broke 60% of the wine. This is something that desperately needs to be fixed in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Why do I have taxiway lights wrong? Like, why are taxiway lights wrong? It's not like they know where the taxiways are. So why are the lights so fucked up? All right. We'll call this a parking spot. Go ahead and shut down our avionics. Shut down our avionics. Shut down avionics, maybe? Okay, there we go. I don't know which one of those switches was avionics, but we got it turned off. Now we'll go ahead and pull the mixture. Shut down the airplane. Oh, and then there was $312 in airport fees? What kind of landing fee nonsense is that? All right, back to NEOfly. Let's find a better mission. Apparently not. Like, given that you assumed that I broke a bunch of shit. Let me make it so that you guys can actually hear NEOfly. All right. You should be able to hear NEOfly now. Now let's look for another mission. Job finder. All right. Looks like we could go back to Midway. No, I don't have enough cargo room for that. What's up, iDoc Joe? What's up, iDoc Joe? How's your night going? Bring one passenger to Midway. Okay, I guess we could do that. Yeah, I don't want to bring any more fragile cargo. That kind of sucked. Sure, we'll take one passenger to Midway. Can I...
Good morning, my favorite transporter. Passengers will board as soon as you request it. The passengers are ready to board. I hope you have plenty of room. It looks like they have gone crazy at the duty-free shop.
Do a mission in Georgia? Well, I'm not down in Georgia. That's kind of the problem with Microsoft Flight, or with NEOfly, is you have to get there. You have to actually take the airplane down there. So I don't have there's no mission for me to do in Georgia. All right. I'm waiting for the passengers to get loaded.
Transporter from dispatch. All passengers on board. You can ask for the clearance to take off.
Oh, awesome. All passengers are on board. Appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get this puppy started. So let's get our master switch back on. Crack that throttle. It's a hot start, so we should just be able to crank away.
Everything looks good from where I'm sitting. Taxi to the runway and take off.
And now we're just gonna head to Midway again. Airport map. Let's search for it. AMDW Midway International. We're over here on the iPad right now. And we are just going to go direct to Midway from GYY. waiting on our airplane to get all powered up and everything. Avionics are coming on. For some reason, our autopilot is showing on. I really don't want that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Beacon and strobe was off with engine running. Oops. We should have enough gas to get there. And weather is garbage. I think the weather is absolute garbage. But we're going to plan pretty much direct to Midway. And from Midway... Yeah, it's IFR, 2.5 statute miles, 800 feet broken. So it looks like we're probably going to be doing an ILS. So what's the weather? 200 at 8. Go ahead and bring up our iPad. So we looked at the weather. We're looking at winds of 200 at 8 knots right down here. So then we're going to go procedure, approach. I want an ILS. That's 70 degrees off. I guess I could probably just do RNAV GPS runway 22 right. That'll take me down to about 300 feet, or it's 280 feet. So that should get me low enough. So we're going to load it via Savvy. So back nearest. Let's just see if we can find Midway from here. Yep, there's Midway. Direct. Enter. Then we're going to go procedure. Select approach. And we're just going to grab the approach, the GPS runway 22 right, and we're just going to proceed direct to that at 3,000. That's 22 left. I want 22 right. Enter. And am I not looking at the right one? Because that's not... Let's try this again. Procedure. Select approach. RNAV GPS 22 right. Is there another 22 right that I should be looking at? Or is this just a matter of... Well, I guess we could... Let's see. Is there another 22 right in here? It's 22 left. It seems like it's really just a matter of ForeFlight being more up to date than Microsoft Flight Sim, which sucks. But what are you gonna do? I guess we could do it just via vectors. No, I don't want that. Well, let's delete this flight plan. Deleting the flight plan that was in here might help. Then procedure, select approach, GPS 22 right. And we'll take it from CGT. And we'll set minimums of... What were those minimums? We got minimums of 893, so I should have went the other way. We're going to go to minimums of 900. There we go. And we'll activate it. Looks like CGT. Yeah, that looks like it'll make sense. Awesome. I'm happy with that. Are we ready to take off? I feel like we're ready to take off. We're going to climb on up to 3,000 feet. And we're going to go direct to Savvy. Direct. Enter. There we go. That's much better. I was wondering why it was sending me all the way over to CGT. Now let's go take off. Release that parking brake. Get rid of that flight director. And it's Gary, Indiana, Cheese 1, taxi and direct to the runway, and we're going to be departing towards Midway, whether you like it or not. Okay, looks like I can do this. Yep, if I just follow this over here. Yep. And that's going to take me direct to the end of the runway that I want. It's going to be a stiff crosswind either way, but I'm definitely not going to take the short runway. Go ahead and drop 1 notch of flaps. Actually, let's see. 1 notch of flaps. All right, and taking the runway. Airspeed's alive. We gotta put the aileron into the wind. Ah. 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 Get this bird off the ground. Oh, could you imagine being this passenger? Yes, classic Microsoft Flight Sim ground handling. That's exactly it. All right, let's go to nav. And let's go heading. Let's adjust our heading to get us at least in the right direction. And heading mode instead of roll mode, and autopilot on. Awesome. That was rough. That was rough for all parties involved. There's absolutely no reason that should have been that rough. I apologize. What can I do to make it better? I guess I should get the gears up and get the power back to an appropriate setting. And power set. All right, where the hell is NEOfly? That's flight events. That's my iPad. There's NEOfly. Okay, there we go. So we are on our GPS route, and that's taking us straight to the LPV that's taking us into Midway. Let's go ahead and reduce that mixture so we don't burn very much gas. Oh, too much. There we go. And we can go ahead and increase our climb rate. Back to our VY climb. Gears up. Flaps are up. And we are all good to go. Thank y'all so much for showing up and hanging out. I know I don't go live that often, but I don't know. It's fun. I like playing games with y'all. I like playing Microsoft Flight Sim, getting some more experience in, knocking the dust off, knocking the rust off, and answering any kind of questions that y'all might have about flying, about aviation, about how to do X, Y, and Z. I really wish Microsoft Flight Sim had some better ground handling, but hopefully Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 has some better ground handling. Can't wait to do my first flight as a private pilot this week. You know what? That first flight is something else, to be able to just go up and be like, this is all on me. This is me. I accomplished this. It's not my instructor. I'm not relying on anybody else. I am a pilot and I get to fly. It is, don't get me wrong, there's still days. I know when my medical nonsense all came up, and I wasn't really allowed to fly for that often. My spouse was just busy, so we couldn't go fly together. And then she finally, we had enough time for her to for us to go flying. And it was probably the first time I had gone flying like in my airplane in like 3 months. And oh my God, it was just, it still takes my breath away. I'm still just like, this is awesome. And you know, I just look forward to being able to do it again without needing somebody to babysit me. You know, don't get me wrong, I love flying with my wife, but you know, I don't really want someone to babysit me. Yeah, I mean, seaplanes are an absolute blast. I wish I could own a seaplane base. We need to reduce power because we're up in the yellow arc, and this is definitely not smooth air. Let's go back to our iPad. We're going to be doing the GPS 22 right. We're going direct to save. So from save, it looks like we should be at 3,000 to Haxham. And then from Haxham, it's 3,000 to Ruggo. And then at Ruggo, we're going to catch the glide path down. We could probably add a little bit more power. There we go. How should I handle my CFI? Still ghosts flies after 20 hours of SOAR training. I go to 2 CF double I's and one is noticeably more hands off. I feel confidence from those lessons. So the big problem is probably the CFI is nervous. And are they nervous because of your actions? Are they nervous because their lack of experience? Bring it up. That's really just the best way to say, be like, hey, you know, I see that you're on the controls a lot and, you know, I can feel you on the controls. So I'm wondering, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to do better for you to spend less time trying to coach me through the controls? That's really the best, because sometimes instructors just aren't aware that they're doing it. I know when I go fly with Dirtbag in the right seat of his airplane, I have to sit on my hands or else I catch myself like guarding the yoke to prevent stalls and prevent, you know, us from burying the nose in the dirt. But I mean, Dirtbag's got just as many hours as me. He's a CFI too. But I still catch myself doing it. So the pilot or the CFI just might not recognize it. They might just not recognize that they are guarding or ghosting or, you know, still on the controls. So ask, say something, be like, hey man, you know, I feel like I'm pretty confident with with this. Would you mind being a little bit more hands off so that I could make sure that I feel as if I'm actually accomplishing this? Does that make sense? I hope so. But these are all really good questions. Let's see. I think I have like a little list of more. Let me go check. I absolutely love that. So there's a chance he won't take offense. Fuck that. Don't ever worry about offending your instructor. If your instructor is so booty bothered by the student asking for them to be off the controls, by the student asking for help or guidance, fire that instructor. If your instructor gets so butthurt over you asking a question about, hey, I see that you're on the controls a lot. Am I doing something wrong? What do I need to do better? Can you set a benchmark for me for you to be on the controls less so I can feel myself fly more? If your instructor's bothered by that request, fire them. All right. So let's get back into the game. Or back into the sim, and let's bring up the iPad. Currently, it looks like we just passed Haxham, so we are right here rounding this corner at Haxham to then track inbound to Ruggo. And at Ruggo, we should be able to grab the glide path to go down. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, I wasn't going to provide any more instruction. No, I'm kidding. Would you recommend renter's insurance? It depends. Look at the renter policy of wherever you're renting from, right? If there is no renter policy, yes, I would recommend renter's insurance. But if there's a renter policy where they say, hey, or if there's a renter agreement saying like, we have a policy, this is our deductible. If it's found that you're negligent, you're responsible for the deductible, stuff like that, then, maybe get insurance that would cover the deductible, because insurance for my airplane, the deductible is $3,500. I mean, sure, like, I'm not trying to brag, but I mean, I have $3,500 sitting in the bank to cover it if need be. Not everybody does. Was I a 61 or a 141 student? Both. I did both, Part 61 and 141. I did Part 141 for all my like primary core training, things like private pilot, commercial, instrument, multi-engine, CFI. But then everything else I did Part 61. So CFII, MEI, multi-engine instructor, seaplane, high performance. All my tailwheel time was all Part 61 training. I don't really recommend one or the other. What I do recommend is get your primary flight training. If you plan on being an airline pilot, get your primary flight training done, Part 141. Beyond your primary flight training, go have fun. Go enjoy aviation. And go get your other training in Part 61. Go and make mistakes. Let's go ahead, drop our gear. Power's reduced. We should be tracking on down that glide path now. Get this thing back up to a reasonable power setting. I think I just reduced that power just a bit too much. All right, we can go ahead and drop a notch of flaps. And let's switch this thing over to the fullest tank. I'm getting ready to take my private pilot check ride on the 11th. I want to get my instrument rating as well, but I was considering taking a break from training for a couple months. Is that a bad idea? So, I mean, you're going to have lapses. You're going to have lapses in training. You're going to have to retrain some stuff. You might pick up some bad habits. A lot of people, when they get the private pilot certificate, they end up picking up bad habits. They end up going and doing, I mean, I hate to say dumb things, but they end up like figuring out their own flavor of flying, which might be wrong or dangerous. And now as an instructor, I've kind of got to fix that. Like, I can't just let you continue to operate like that if it's wrong or dangerous. So it really just depends on your end goal, right? If you eventually want to be an airline pilot, it might be good to just continue trucking on through. If you are just doing this for fun, go fuck off, go have fun, and then come back and do some more training. All right, looks like we're going down to minimums of 900. So we still got a good bit to go. The weather here isn't great. It's not great at all. So let's see if we can even get down. I'm seeing some ground contact off the side. So we should be able to break out. That's what I'm doing. My plan is to fly for a bit, 50-ish hours, then get instrument rating, not going to the airlines. Yeah, I mean, if you're not going to the airlines, go have fun. Go fuck around. Just don't do dumb things. If it's not VFR, don't fly. This is not VFR. I don't care that you can kind of see the ground right there. This is not VFR weather. Do not go and fuck around in weather that looks like this. I feel like I shouldn't. You'd think I wouldn't have to say that, but the amount of times you hear about students doing dumb stuff, it's insane. It's insane. Looks like we are 1,000 to minimums. We got moisture on our pitot, or we got moisture. It's cold. Our pitot heat is on. Looking for the runway. Looking for the runway. Looking for the runway. This is a really shallow descent rate. What is this path? It says it's 3 degrees. Oh, but we have a 33 knot headwind. That's why we have really shallow descent angle or really shallow descent rate because we have a pretty gnarly headwind. Where is this runway? Looks like we're losing that gnarly headwind. Approach lights in sight, continuing. Go ahead and reduce some more power, get this airplane slowing down. Add my last notch of flaps. Let this airplane trim out. Let the autopilot trim out before I disengage anything. Ooh, this is going to be another rough landing. That's just a little too slow for my taste. All right.
500.
We're going to let this thing take us all the way down to minimums. We got 200 to minimums. Keep that power up. Keep that engine spooled. Mixture's rich. Props forward. We are good to land. Gears down. I got 3 green. Let's keep that engine out of red line. There we go. There's minimums. Autopilot's coming off. And let's just bring it down. Remember, pitch for our airspeed. Power controls our altitude. Power can also control our descent rate. Look at that windsock, just a whipping. Power's out.
We have touchdown.
That wasn't bad. Let's go find a place to
Contact
park.
ground for your parking assignment, then shut down your engine.
Let's go find a place to park. All right, we just made a right turn off of 22 right. What taxiway are we on? Looks like we pretty much made our first turn, so I should be on Taxiway Hotel. All right, I found my little list. Let's see. Now, some students ask, like, how do you improve your situational awareness? And this generally comes when, like, you're on the ground and, you know, your instructor's like, hey, did you hear that? You know, X, Y, and Z just happened. And the students like, what do you mean X, Y, and Z just happened? How would you have even known that? A good way to really improve your situational awareness is take notes. Listen to what your instructor's responses are. Also go and look at things like, go and listen to things like aviation, no, not aviationweather.gov, liveatc.net. All right. And pick an airplane to be on liveatc.net and try to follow that airplane along. Taking notes in the flight deck is also a good option. Asking ATC to repeat themselves is also another great way to do it. Shit. I need to pay attention. There we go. Hey, what the hell, dude? Getting cut off right there. That was a pretty solid landing, though. I'm pretty proud of that landing. Normally, my simulator landings aren't that good. It said my vertical speed rate. It says my vertical speed on that one was 68 feet per minute. So that was a whole lot better than the last one. Shut down avionics. Avionics are off. Pull the mixture.
Transporter. Disembarkation in progress. Stand
Kill
by.
the master. Kill the lights. Kill the magnetos. Let the peeps out. All right. Let's go back to NEOfly and see how that went down. Let's see if I got any of my other crew. So I have other pilots. Oh, looks like he made it to Chicago. So let's go find him a mission. Oh, looks like he already got one. Let's add some gas to him and send him on his way. So we got $1.8 million.
Transporter. Disembarking finished. Have a nice day.
Was IFR hard for you, Mr. Cheese? We need more in-depth IFR
Let's
videos
get out of here.
for the win. Well, there is. I actually have a whole series of them up right now that I'm continuing to work on. We've already done VORs, we've done ILS, and there is, and I've done a couple IFR mock check rides too, so definitely go look at those. So I've done IFR mock check rides, I've done an ILS video, I've done a VOR video. There's an RNAV GPS video that should be coming out Wednesdays. Make sure, hit that bell icon so you get notified when that thing drops. It is on an instant premiere, so you should be able to see that. Let's see if there is another airplane I can buy. So I got $1.8 million. Let's see if there's anything that I could actually afford. No. I could afford an extra 330. I could afford an Icon A5, but who the fuck wants an Icon A5? I could not afford that TBM. Oh, well, that kind of sucks. I thought I could actually afford something. Let's see if I can go find, get another rating somewhere. Qualifications. Still jealous of your seaplane. Did you get your medical sorted out? No medical sorted out just yet. There's not really any other way to put it. I've just been, there's not really any other way to put it. I'm waiting on the FAA. The FAA says it's going to probably be another 4 to 7 months for them to run through all my paperwork. And every day is agonizing and terrible. Hoping that it's going to get dealt with soon. And I mean, February of last year is when this all started. February of last year is when this all started. So I've been waiting since February of last year to be able to go to work over stuff that happened a decade ago. So I am still technically on the seniority list of an airline. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I kind of want to, but I'm not sure. I don't know. Like I'm a little torn either way. Because the airlines aren't great. The quality of life isn't great when it comes to the airlines. So I don't know. Like I'm kind of torn. Let's go look at qualifications, and all of those places are kind of far away. So what other options do you want to do? I mean, instructing, staying as an instructor is always a good plan. What else? Continued content creation. That's always another option. I would love to eventually become a DPE. I've applied at a couple places as a sim instructor. I'm hoping to hear back from some of these sim instructor places. I've applied at Delta as a sim instructor. I've applied at CAE as a sim instructor, because they have a little bit more career growth than my current option. My current option doesn't have like regular raises or insurance or anything like that. A lot of people don't realize like, hey, you can, there's other options really. You can be an instructor. You can be, I guess you can be an instructor. No, I have absolutely no interest in cargo. Cargo pilots are beat even more than regional pilot. You can fly gliders for now. Those are lit. I would love to. The only problem is a lot of the flight schools that offer glider training require a medical certificate. Yeah. I was a little like that. That kind of frustrated me. But yeah, a lot of the places that do glider training, they want you to have a medical before they sign you off for solo because their insurance wants you to have a medical. Which is it's so annoying, right? So I think maybe we could go to Hobart Sky Ranch. Actually, let's just see if there's a DC-3 there. 3HO. 3HO. There is no DC-3 there. Let's see if we can find one. DC-3. Oh, but they are expensive. Holy shit. What? No medical? Old people fly those. Double check on that, champ. Yeah, so no. Don't get me wrong. I am aware that you don't need a medical. It's not the flight school. The people who train the pilots want them to have a medical for their insurance. I can't find a flight school near me that offers glider training without a medical. Just passed my private pilot last week. Appreciate your videos. That's awesome, Karen. That is awesome. Congratulations. All right. Let's see if we can find a widgeon. Oh. Grumman. So there's a goose out there. Ooh, and I can afford the goose. I can afford the Grumman goose. It's only 78 miles away, but like, why would I really need a goose? Like, what's the benefit of a goose? So a goose has a useful load of 2,400 pounds with a cruise speed of 140, which a max range of 300. So I mean, I guess I'm just a little. All right, man. You enjoy. You have a good night. Oh, sorry. I'm not even showing y'all what I'm looking at here. Now y'all can see what I'm looking at. So I've got a goose as an option, but I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't really be worth it because like, what's the point, right? I'm not going to be making a whole lot of money in it. It burns its fuel burn is way too high. So let's clear that out. We're currently at midway. I feel like a TBM is really just the way to go. Is there a TBM near me that I can just rent? No, they are all for purchase. And can I? Nope, not enough money to buy this one. Shenanigans. Well, it is 9:30 for me, so I don't know how much more I'm really going to be playing or how much more I'm really going to be doing. But I do really appreciate the fact that y'all show up, y'all hang out, y'all ask wonderful questions. Does anybody have anything else before I go? Make sure that if you aren't subscribed by now, please do so. If you are, what does YouTube call it? A member? Like the whole, it's like a Twitch equivalent of a subscription. You gain access to the videos as soon as I get done with them, as opposed to on Wednesdays. It usually equates to about 2 to 3 days early, and it helps support me and the channel. You know, no pressure. There's also merch. Is this my Smokey Bear hat? Yeah, this is my Smokey Bear hat. Let me go find some of the merch. So for those of you who don't know about the Friends Against Aviation, they sell mugs. So this is the Friends Against Aviation mugs. There's all kinds of mugs, or there's all kinds of merch with these logos on it. It's kind of funny. How intense are stage checks? Really quick. Getting ready for 2.4 with my chief pilot. So here's the thing. Stage checks are not universal. They're not. I have no idea what your 2.4 stage check is. Is it instrument? Is it commercial? Is it CFI? Is it private pilot? I have no idea. All 141 programs build their own training course outline that gets approved by the FAA. So what you view as 2.4 might be my stage check 1 pre-solo. So I don't really, I don't know. Stage checks can, I mean, they're a 141 program with examining authority. A stage check can be a check ride. What I would recommend is read your training course outline. Your training course outline is going to set the ground rules for that stage check. And that's really going to be your best bet. That training course outline that says like, hey, you're going to do this and this and this and this. That's effectively your ACS for that checking event. Now, when it comes to interviews, when it comes to airlines, stage check failures count as failures. Make sure you disclose them. Okay. Don't try to hide stage check failures. But when you do, if you do end up with a stage check failure, acknowledge what went wrong, acknowledge what you could do better, and then do it. That makes sense? But as always, you know, it's a blast hanging out with y'all. Merch is an option if you want to support the channel. I think I make $1 on the mugs. I'm just trying to share some stuff. But if not, you know, y'all enjoy the rest of your night and keep it cheesy.